Hello, and welcome to this Coffee Talk with Madison Russ. I am your host, as always. There's no other Coffee Talk with Madison Russ. This is the only one you're going to find out there. So, good luck finding others. But today I have a special guest.
I'm Rob Marshall.
Rob and I have been friends since we attended community college together, and we're just best friends forever. And Rob's my go-to person when I want to have a giggle. So I really wanted to start incorporating into the blog my funny news stories of the week. As a journalist, I read a lot of news. Kind of my job. And for all my concrete news, I obviously read CNN or, NPR, or pick up a daily newspaper. But I do read a lot of interesting newspapers, such as the Daily Mail, which is a British newspaper that reports on ridiculous things. Mostly teachers having sex with students, but there's other weird things sprinkled through there. So we came up with a couple stories that are particularly odd. And the first one is this high school in Colorado. Two of the chaperones from the prom are being sued for harassment for Lysoling students who were dirty dancing and quote-unquote advertising butt sex. Patrick Swayze is obviously sad right now. I mean, he is spinning in his grave because nobody Lysol's baby. The article on Huffington Post and The Smoking Gun both say that they were in military fatigue.
Military fatigue with military boots. So just imagine two Lady Fidel Castros running around prom floors spraying Lysol on people.
Evidently, they sprayed them so bad that they had to leave. Like, it was in their eyes and in their mouth, and they had to go home. So, I mean, what a crappy ending to a prom night.
It is a crappy ending, but think of the students, like, why were their mouths open while they were being sprayed with Lysol?
Yeah, who sees a can of Lysol coming at them? They're just like, the police officer that was there, that was supposed to be like monitoring it, to make sure everything went swell. He was talking to these chaperones, and they basically said this wasn't like the first time that they did this, that they always Lysoled kids who were dancing dirty, and that sometimes they would use a flashlight or an unknown object.
Yes, like they have little tiny robots running around on the floor as well.
But like unknown object, I mean, that just has a dirty and negative connotation as it is. I mean, that literally, an unknown object could be anything. It could be like a pencil.
It could be a wooden board with a spike in it.
Just a baton, just beating out the back of their leg. Never dance again. I don't know if they know, but Lysol only controls 99% of germs, not 99% of hormones. It also was in Colorado, so I really don't know how dirty they really even know how to be. It's not, I mean, put them at a Brooklyn prom and see how they feel. I mean, those girls can give themselves a round of applause with their butt cheeks. One of the things that they brought up was that they were dancing like what you would see on MTV. I don't know how old these women are. I'm going to assume...
It did say in the article they were both 42 years old.
42, okay, so they're not that old. When was the last time you saw music on MTV? Or people dancing? Other than the music videos they play at like 5 o'clock in the morning. And Lady Gaga, Nicki Minaj, I wouldn't call that dancing. That's sort of just like putting on a spandex bodysuit and convulsing.
It's spastically convulsing, yes.
Yeah. It's like somebody's like shocking them. Yeah, the last time I saw dancing was, on Spring Break, MTV, in the mid-90s.
And now it's all Jersey Shore and 16 and pregnant.
They're not dancing, they're pregnant.
Yes.
You ever seen a pregnant chick try to dance? I haven't. Why? Because they can't. Got too much going on in the mid-region. Plus, I feel like I could give them shaky baby syndrome. If you're like, just dropping and locking it, the baby's going like this. Why did my kid come out with one half of a face? Dropping and locking it. Can't stop me. I'm 16 and pregnant, but still like the dirty dance. If you drop and lock it while you're pregnant, this should be in what you expect while you're expecting. Don't even worry about not eating sushi. Worry about dropping and locking it because your kid will come out with pug nose. and one half a face. So,
Yes.
word of the wise.
If you've ever seen a flounder, that's exactly what they'll look like.
Hi, Mom. Alright, so anyway, on to the next story. New Jersey, this glorious and wonderful exotic state I live in, is banning texting while walking. It's actually an $85 fine if you are caught in Fort Lee, New Jersey, texting while walking, because there have been 23 pedestrian accidents since January. Most were minor and 3 were fatalities. One viral video that went up was a woman who fell into a fountain at the mall while texting because she was so distracted. And it says,
I've seen that
on
video.
CBS News, the woman who fell into the fountain regretted her carelessness in retrospect, emphasizing the dangers of texting while walking. I don't know if you've ever been to a mall or seen a mall fountain, but
it's just any kind of fountain.
There's about 3 inches of water and a bunch of pennies at the bottom.
And they also make quite the bit of noise, too.
So, I don't know exactly how dangerous that is unless when you fall, you don't try to get up.
You can just start flailing around in 3 inches of water.
Yeah, if you just lay there, then yeah, you'll drown. Of course you will. But, when I fall, I immediately try to, recover so nobody sees it. Number one, the first thing I do is look around to see who saw. I just don't lay in a mall fountain. I'd be humiliated. And plus, my cell phone would be wet, and I'd be, freaking out because my grandpa would yell at me if I need another iPhone. I break iPhones, once a month, or they get stolen. He told me no more. So, the first thing I would think is, oh my god, my grandpa's going to kill me. And then I would assess my injuries.
There's also a story here. It says, looks like a man in Los Angeles almost ran into a bear while texting. Now, I don't know where in Los Angeles he is, but I don't believe there are too many bears wandering the streets of Los Angeles.
Was he at the zoo?
Why was he in the bear pit anyway?
I was so busy texting my girlfriend, where we wanted to go for dinner plans tonight, and I just walked into the zoo.
If you can't see a bear, it might be a problem.
All right, because let's look at it this way. Here's my cell phone. All right, a bear is about 8 feet tall. If I can't see a bear that's about 500, 600,
Probably about 600 pounds, yes.
in front of me, that's 8 feet tall, then maybe you need to get your peripheral vision checked.
And if you ever see a bear, don't try to run away from it. He's going to get you anyway, so...
Yeah, just lay down and accept it.
Yeah.
That's what most survivalists will tell you, is just cover your neck and your face. Because, you're done anyway. They can climb, they can swim, they can run super fast, they can stand on, 2 legs, and 4. They can do whatever they want.
Yes, they can also fetch honey from trees very well, too.
So I don't really think the danger is walking and texting. I think the danger is there's a bear wandering around Los Angeles.
That should be a main concern for people here.
We're constantly euthanizing pit bulls, shooting dogs down, and, Rodney King in Los Angeles streets. But what are we doing about the bear problem? So, moving on. Double takes. This is by Dispatch.com. Body spray sets off fire alarm. Officials say a fire alarm went off at a Connecticut high school, was activated by students' overabundance of body spray in a locker room. Now my question is, was this kid wearing napalm, or is Axe's new scent, Agent Orange? Kids smell like hot, dirty, wet garbage on a sunny day. How much Axe did he really need?
Any Axe is too much.
Yeah, you really only need one spray. This kid obviously literally doused himself to the point where he was flammable. Did he spontaneously combust? Officials said the student used an excessive amount of scented spray and created a cloud of mist right below a heat sensor, which tripped the fire alarm. Firefighters allowed students and teachers to return to the building. Shortly after arriving, officials deemed the call a routine accidental. So basically all these kids stink.
And if this is a routine accidental, why would you do it one time and then continue doing it?
Why haven't they put a ban on it yet? As a taxpayer of Connecticut, I would just be mad that, every other week, the fire department is spending my tax dollars to go to the local high school because kids are dousing themselves in cologne. What kind of cologne? Is it, Kim Kardashian's brand? Smell like a hot, fiery hooker? So potent it sets off fire alarms? And I mean, you also have to consider how up to date is their fire alarm system if perfume sets it off.
Can't be that good.
As a parent, that would be a concern of mine. I mean, maybe it's good. Maybe it's high tech because the littlest thing sets it off. But I want my kids in school. I don't want them outside every day because kids are wearing cologne. Staring at the sky. Oh. The man who was brutally tortured by a gang of 6 roommates who tied him up, stapled his lips shut, and cut him with power tool in the basement of their home. A group of men and women aged 20 to 55 carried out an attack in Utah. Victim, Thomas Chapman, 41, had been moved into the home 10 days ago. Chapman fled to sister's house and remains in hospital. First of all, age 20 to 55, why are you living with like 8 different people? And I mean, I don't know, don't you scan your roommates before this happens? I mean, the first thing I would do, when I was looking at apartments, the first thing I did was A, make sure that my landlord wasn't a Craigslist killer, B, knew who I was living with. I mean, at what point did this guy not notice that there was a torture chamber in the basement? And he's surprised he got his face stapled? My question is, how did these 6 masochists find each other? Is there like a section on Craigslist like, hey, if you like, torturing people and cutting them with power tools and stapling them up and luring them into the basement, call me. Let's live together. What gave them that idea? What triggered that? It's a Sunday, I'm bored. Let's torture our roommate.
Staple his lips together.
He told the news that they put my hands behind my back and whatever that is, and handcuffed me and my own handcuffs with my own handcuffs. So this guy's obviously a little weird if he's got his own handcuffs and they turned against him. Give me those. Thing I know, I'm getting beat up with my laptop, keyboards, board sticks, have knives put to my throat, getting kicked in the ribs, getting kicked in the head.
Now, why does this 41-year-old man have a collection of boards and sticks?
And if you're beating somebody up, who's laptop first? Yeah, I'm gonna get you real good. Here's my MacBook. Keyboards. I mean, he obviously was starting the next Duran Duran. I mean, he had multiple keyboards. I really only thought that you needed one and a synthesizer, and then basically you're good. But he had multiple keyboards. I wonder if they were playing a sound when they hit him.
It's a new musical genre.
Because you know how, like, sometimes the keyboards at the top, like, have little, like, mixer noises. Like, we'll play a little beat. Yeah, like rumba. I wonder if he played rumba on his forehead. They should be asking more questions here. They aren't asking enough questions.
I think they're just asking the wrong questions right now.
They invite him to move in. Like, we don't trust you, so we're going to test this out by beating you and see if you tell the cops. That guy, he's got a beard, like, down to here.
Kellyanne looks like ZZ Top. It's not ZZ Top. We respect all of ZZ Top and his music. Don't sue us.
We are not sponsored by ZZ Top. We do not endorse ZZ Top. We do not own the rights to ZZ Top's name or any of his crimes, past or present.
No, ZZ Top is a wonderful person. He has never committed any crimes, past or present, or future.
ZZ Top for president.
Yes.
So, yeah. You know what? I don't really know why people are surprised. Like, it's Utah. There's some crazy stuff out in California, too. I mean, think about all the serial killers, of recent times. They were all from California. There was one guy that drove a tank down the 163. Just running over cars. Who wakes up in the morning and is like, want to get back at society?
You can either rob a bank, or I can steal a tank and drive down the freeway.
Where could I get a tank from? God. You know who would know Larry? Yeah. We'll give him a call. What should I tell him if he asks why you need a tank? I'll just run his house over. Man arrested for driving drunk with zebra, parrot, and truck. Wow. This guy, he He looks like the Crypt Keeper, and I really want to know what that rash is on his neck. I mean, I guess that's what you contract after hanging out with exotic animals.
If you've ever seen Village of the Damned, just age him about 40 years and you've got it.
An Iowa man arrested for drunk driving after he left a bar appears to have his kids to blame, a baby zebra, and a parrot that were with him and his girlfriend. Gerald Ryder, 55, is charged with operating while under the influence and spent the night in jail before being released Monday. He told KCRG.com that he suspects the only reason police were at the bar was that someone among the crowd taking pictures of the zebra and the parrot contacted authorities. He was standing outside of his vehicle, Ryder's girlfriend, Vicky Teeters. Her last name's Teeters. He was getting ready to switch drivers. There are our kids, Teeter added, and explaining why the animals were with them. The couple said that they often take the animals with them and had planned to bring them into the bar, but were told they could not enter because food was being served that night.
But I think what we need to go back to right now is the bar saying, you can't bring your parrot and zebra while we're serving food. But any other night when we're not serving food,
bring the zebra right on.
Pop a saddle on him, and you can be like the main event right here.
No, you know what would be even better? And I hope that this is true. I hope that, this is followed up on, that we know what happens to this man and his children. But I hope that the parrot was named the Lone Ranger, and the zebra was named Tonto, and they had a sideshow that they traveled around with. I would pay good amounts of money to see that. But, what happened to the zebra and the parrot? Are they in custody? Like of the state?
They're just going to put them in the evidence locker and they're going to let them sit there for a while.
Where do you even buy a zebra? I mean, I know you can get a lot of things on the internet, but...
A zebra?
Yeah, no, honestly, where did he get that zebra? I really don't... I can't think of one place you could find a zebra for sale. Unless he went to Africa and, smuggled it back in his pocket, but...
Sir,
zebras...
what is this carry-on package you got right here? Don't worry about it. Just another horse.
Nothing.
Why are you having a horse?
Nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. No, my backpack isn't neighing. Just let me through customs. Jeez, so racist. Go pat down that grandma. She looks like a terrorist. No, my backpack isn't moving. Don't be crazy. But even the zebras when they're born, though, they're still fairly big. So, did he put a seatbelt on it? I mean, how did the zebra fit in the car? What was it doing? Does he leave the windows down? Does it stick its head out like a dog?
Now, when he's driving on, the parkway, is he allowed to, hop in the passenger lane with his, zebra,
Yes, does that, rectify him for, a carpool lane?
Yeah.
Because
if it does, then I will get a pet zebra.
Imagine those people walking in the bar, oh, honey, it's date night. Let's just get a local bar. And, you're walking in to get some apps and some martinis, and there's just this zebra, in the back of a truck. Alright, well, because we've been having so much fun, we'll end this with just one more story with Ronald Reagan's blood.
Who wouldn't want to have Ronald Reagan blood?
What I want to know is how they got it. Up for sale, UK auction house claims. If you've ever wanted a vial of Ronald Reagan's blood, now's your chance. Although this sale is being called unethical. Go for it. For $10,000, you can be the proud owner of a creepy vial of Ronald Reagan's blood from when he was shot. So, it goes on to say, the seller wrote that the vial came from his or her late mother, who took it from her workplace at Maryland-based bioscience laboratories where blood work and testing were done for George Washington Hospital. The seller said he or she contacted the California-based Ronald Reagan Library and Museum, which is run by the late President's Foundation, months ago, and had been told that Reagan's family would like to have the file given to them. I told them that I didn't think that it was something that I was going to consider, and that I was a real fan of Reaganomics and felt that President Reagan himself would rather see me sell it rather than donating it. A spokeswoman for the foundation declined to comment on the seller's claim to have spoken to the library. And I'm sure if Reagan could speak from the grave, he would definitely be like, yeah, you know what? Don't give that to my mourning family. Sell it on the internet. Yeah, that's totally the right thing to do.
If Reagan starts speaking from the grave, be scared because it's the zombie apocalypse too.
Yeah, that would be the first concern. Is this guy should get sprayed in the face with Lysol and go find that bear in LA and just lay down in front of it with his vile blood, because bears can smell blood from 3 miles away or something ridiculous. like that. All the more reason to be scared of them.
They're terrifying.
And all the animals that live in Florida. Florida is also the gun-shaped state.
Okay,
I don't really trust states that are shaped like weapons. This has been Coffee Talk with Madison Russ.
And I'm Rob Marshall.
My wonderful, wonderful co-host and friend, Rob Marshall. You know, if you can take anything away from this, don't drop, lock, and pop it when you're pregnant.
Don't spray Lysol into your mouth.
It will suck. You probably won't like it. Unless you're one of those people on Strange Addiction who eats like rocks and Ajax and all sorts of craziness.
Don't take your pet zebra to a bar either.
Because if they're selling food on that particular night, you cannot bring the zebra in. He has to wait in the car. Sorry, little guy. Can't go in. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this inspires you to go out and support a fellow writer, pick up the newspaper, read the news, because there are some silly things out there other than what Obama's doing and all the other snoozeville stuff. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to my blog. Actually, the link might be up there. Just check both. And I will add you to awesome sites you'd love to read. Yeah! Let me give out a shout out to Mary, who shared my last post on Facebook. You're awesome, Mary. Mary, you the bomb. Just looking at you, Mary. So, yeah. Alright, that's it. I'm sorry. I won't talk anymore.